We will kick off this training presentation talking about our most basic element. We are going to talk about the brand. And when we mention the brand, a lot of people might think, whoa, she's talking about the logo. We're going to go a little bit deeper than just the logo. We're going to cover what is a brand in general, the Toastmasters brand, the brand personality, the color palette, the fonts, and images that we use. Our objectives, like every other training that has objectives, we will demonstrate an understanding of a brand and the elements that define it. And we'll create a toolkit, which is part of the homework that Kathy mentioned earlier, to begin creating and using brand compliant marketing material. When I was beginning in leadership, my very first task was an area director training. I was going into my second year as an area director, and they paired me up with someone that had so much experience than I did, so much more. And he asked this question. Well, he didn't ask this question. He said this analogy first, and he said, the baker knows the bread he sells. And I'm going to take you a little bit away from your comfort zone, and I want you to look at Toastmasters as a product, as a service that we offer. And I will ask you, what is Toastmasters? Does anyone want to give an answer to that? And it's not a cookies and cream donut. What is Toastmasters?
The best personal development program in the world.
All right, the best development program in the world. I like that. Does anyone else have a different definition?
It's a group of people that come together to improve their leadership and communication skills.
Okay. Anyone else?
A safe place to express yourself.
Okay, a safe place to express yourself.
I would have to say a program where you learn to lead and communicate.
Okay. A forum to build social connection. I like that. That was written in the chat. If we look, oh, somebody's going to say something. I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
Darren LaCroix, world champion public speaking 2001, says Toastmaster is the best place to screw up.
Okay. He's right, though. But you're not going to imagine yourself as a PRM, which is my position, or a VPM or a VPPR, and to say, hey, what's Toastmasters? Oh, it's a place where you go mess up. That wouldn't be the right pitch or the right message that you want to get across. Toastmasters is defined, or its vision for the future, as the world's leading provider of education for communication and leadership development. That's the scientific, if you want to call it that way, definition of what Toastmasters is. What everyone mentioned is a consequence. We have a safe environment. It's a place to screw up. That's a consequence of being the world's leading provider of of education in communication and leadership. But all of that are descriptions probably of our clubs, or probably our perception. So now that we've gotten past what Toastmasters is, let's talk about the brand, which, by the way, I don't know if we have any people from Arizona. This is Hertz Donut Shop in Phoenix, Arizona. They have the most amazing donuts, and that German cake one, delicious. That's where District 3 is. What is a brand? Now, I'll tell you a personal secret. My cousins thought I could read at the age of 2, because every time my mother turned on the TV, it would be a little parakeet saying McDonald's and then the name of the banks and all that good stuff. My cousin said, can she read? No, but I had a good ear. When they would take me outside, you don't take toddlers outside like anything. And I would see the golden arches. I knew I could get chicken nuggets from there. I would recognize the banks, their logos, their colors. A brand is precisely that, the consolidation of an image, of words, of a motto. A brand is not a logo, but a logo is part of a brand. So brand is untangible. You can't see it. It's not something that you can put in your pocket or keep in a drawer in a safe place. But if I use that golden arches example, if you find those golden arches on the road, you know where you're going up to. That's a McDonald's. You can recognize it easily, maybe by the color. It's not just for a company, it could also be an individual, and an individual can also have their own brand. Now, a brand is used to identify something. And back in 2012, Toastmasters did a rebrand. So we had a new image, new colors, make everything a little bit more modern than how things started off 90 years ago. And companies protect their brands by registering trademarks. Have you noticed, if you read on Pathways or on our documentation, Table Topics is a registered trademark. That's a Toastmasters exclusive. Just like Toastmasters is a registered trademark, Table Topics is a Toastmasters exclusive. So if here in Monterey, in District 55, Austin, San Antonio, China, wherever, Table Topics is called Table Topics. It doesn't matter if there is a translation involved. It needs to be addressed by its name. So one thing that we learned from here is a brand is something we can't touch, but it helps us identify a product. Or in this case, and it's really interesting with Toastmasters, because Toastmasters can be defined as a product when we talk about our education program. But if you look at our clubs also do a service. And club leaders, and if you go on up all the way to international, we provide a service. So it's this really interesting mix of a product that we offer, which is our educational program, and the service we provide to our members and who joins our organization. We can open our mics right now. Tell me, share with me 2 brands that you use or that you are involved with in your day-to-day life. And I'll tell you 2 of mine. Coca-Cola. That is one of the brands that's in my house. And of course, all of you know, me and HEB are one. Those are my 2 brands. What are your brands?
Apple.
Which one, I'm sorry?
Apple.
Okay, Apple.
Yep. The brand of my iPhone.
Someone already mentioned Costco in the chat. Yes.
Amazon.
Amazon. Think of your shampoo. Think about the soap you use. Facebook. Your cars. Who is your mobile service provider?
Honda.
That's another brand. Think about everything. Ooh, that got a little bit racy right there in the chat.
DRV and Ford.
Okay.
Yeah.
More brands. Every day, we engage with different brands. Even if it's a generic home brand, it's still a brand. Because believe me, if I tell my mother, this is an HEB brand, or if this is an Aurrera, which is another grocery store here in Mexico, which one do you think she'll pick? She'll pick the HEB brand because it's a brand she's known for over 40 years. And that, my friends, is called brand loyalty. Have you ever bumped into someone, or do you buy something just because you're familiar with the brand? Go to your household products or your personal products. And I'll use my mother's example as well. She uses a specific detergent because it was the one that my grandmother would use or my great-grandmother would use. These are brands that you grow up with and you don't like to experiment much because you know this is a good product. So why go out and explore? That's what you call brand loyalty. Now, why would brand loyalty be relevant in Toastmasters? Well, if you go out there and in Google, you type in public speaking or leadership, you will find a whole world of providers that claim that they also offer education in public speaking or communication and leadership. This is where Toastmasters and us as club leaders, we need to reinforce our brand. We need to make sure our brand is solid and that we walk the walk and talk the talk. Because if I ask you right now, and I will do it, which is the best club in the whole wide world? Which one would it be?
Frankly speaking, Toastmasters in Houston.
All right, we have a club in Houston. It's the best club in the whole wide world. Do I have a contender? Let's see. I see activity in the chat.
Every
Kerrville
club
area. Every club I what? I'm sorry?
every club I belong to is the best club.
That is the beauty of this, because to us, our perception is that our clubs are the best. But there are a few things that will make us different and very few things that help us align and keep quality in our club. This is why your area directors go and have that club visit. This is why there is something called a moment of truth. We don't have a program quality director just because we like the way it sounds. We need to have our clubs that have a certain level or a standard of quality. And our first impression could be a business card, could be our Facebook account, could be our LinkedIn account, or even our Instagram account. Maybe not your personal one, but your club's account. Imagine if you look in there and you're searching for Toastmasters and you find, here's an account, and it hasn't been updated in the last 3 years. The first thing it's going to tell us that there's no activity here. It's probably gone. It's a forgotten account. So more than building the brand loyalty, we also need to build the consistency. And let's move on. The Toastmasters brand. I remember back in 2012 when we started saying where leaders are made. Oh my God. That is, are leaders born? Are leaders made? Well, you know what? Toastmasters is not going to answer that question. But in Toastmasters, we'll make you a leader. That's our motto. That's our tagline. That is our purpose. So when we go out there and when we try to explain Toastmasters to people, the ideal wouldn't be, hey, it's a communication, you know what? It's a leadership workshop. Think of the tagline, where leaders are made. It doesn't say where communicators are made. Now, I might open this up to discussion if you feel like, adding a little bit to this. Why not communicators, but yes on leaders? Well, leaders do need to communicate. And at the end of the day, a good communicator will be pushed into leadership because they are the voice, or they will be the voice of a group of people they belong to. Our core values. Everything we do goes by our core values. Everything we plan, we execute, and our vision should be aligned to these core values. Integrity, of course, is a top core value, respect, service, and excellence. And this is the reason why most district leaders are very picky when they are going to send out the newsletter. Make sure there are no typos there. Because if there's a typo, we're not honoring the value of excellence. When a member emails us as leaders at the club level or at the area level, and we leave that email unanswered for 3 weeks, we are not honoring the value of service. Respect and integrity should be across the board. And this is also implied more to our interpersonal relationships. But also, the most important person you need to honor and respect is yourself. And if you've known me for a couple of years, you know that I will always tell you, get your sleep, eat right, make sure you're all good, and then we can continue with the world. If you're not okay as a leader, and if you can't take care of yourself, probably you can't serve others. So our core values guide us and define everything we do. And let's excuse, I don't know who is crossing the street. There we go. Our promise. What does Toastmasters promise? With this education program, individuals will be empowered in their personal and professional development. I want you to think back for a second and think of your club members, of your peers in your club. How many of them have benefited from the program and have gotten a new job, gotten a promotion, or were able to make that big change in their life just because they joined your club? Let's not think about your peers, think about yourself. How many changes have you been able to make in your career, in your life? I can guarantee more than one of us in this room has improved their relationship, whether it be at home or at work, thanks to everything they've learned in Toastmasters. This is what we promise. This is our guarantee. Somebody in the chat is already saying that Toastmasters helped them get a new position. That is the purpose. And you know what? We'll talk about it in the future, but I will tell you one thing right now. I've lost members to my club. I think we all have. But when you think about it at the end of the day, and you say, why did I lose? Why did the club lose this person? And you think about, they got a new job. They got a promotion. That's what they were looking for. Your club served its purpose. So when we go promote to the real world or outside of Toastmasters or outside the environment of our club, we have to remember, we want to help people grow, not just help people talk. Our personality. Toastmasters is in 100 and something countries. I think it was 122 last time I checked, but I could be wrong and it could be more. But across the world and all over the world, Toastmasters means leadership, dedication, and empowerment. How should our messages be? Confident. If we're talking about leadership, we have to be confident. There are no chances for second guessing. And compassion. I would rather say kindness, but the official statement is compassion. Our messages need to be clear and respectful, friendly, but professional, not like if we were talking to our friend from home. Positive, upbeat, enthusiastic. If it needs to be something serious, we have to be serious. And of course, always open to feedback. This is not only our written communication. This is how us as leaders need to express ourselves. And there comes a moment, believe it or not, you become the brand. Oh, yes. You are a representative of Toastmasters International. Believe that. And this is the way you should come across, not only in your day-to-day activities. We've all had the opportunity to belong to Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, interact with members from all over the world. And you'll probably have a first reaction like, I'm a district leader, I'm a club leader. This is the way I should answer this request, or this is the way I should answer this post. We have to think again to honor the brand we represent. So our communication should be warm, clear, friendly, professional, respectful, to be able to be understood all over the place or all over the world, and internationally friendly. And I think that last point is very clear tonight because we have people from all over the place. We have from neighboring districts, neighboring clubs, and also from the region and even outside of the region. So that means our communication is very open. And we honor that ideal of having universal communication. It would be very seldom when a district will say no to a request to attend. And the only reason I can think about is district business. Or at the club level, when the executive team is about to have a meeting, it is quite possible that you'll tell other members, we'll leave it for later, we need to reschedule, because club officers are taking care of club business. This is the way the club thrives. But before we move on, I am going to get a little bit worked up with a bit of psychology. What is your favorite color and why? Don't worry, it has to do with branding, believe me, but I want to know, what is your favorite color and why?
Purple.
Purple. Why?
That's a good question. It just appeals to me.
Okay. Does it make you feel confident?
It makes me stand out.
Perfect. It makes you stand out. Green means go. Of course, blue, soothing, comfortable, blue, earth tone, color of the sea, blue. Got a couple of fans of blue. Okay. Black, dressy. What else? Blue means integrity. Purple, royalty. Ah, I love that. White, okay. Blue means integrity. Okay, anyone else? Magenta. Oh, that was interesting. Well, I'll tell you two things. My favorite color as a child was purple. And legend has it, it has nothing to do with my name. I like that it was rare and that nobody had anything purple like them. When I was in preschool, my mother said it got expensive getting me shoes because I like to wear my Converse one color on one foot and another color on the other. So I would wear out the left blue and the right red. As I started growing up, my favorite color stayed in purple and I started transitioning into blue. Blue is the family heirloom color. My mother loves that color. My sisters love the color. In fact, it's the color of the house. But when I started working at the art museum, I worked at an art museum for 4 years, right after college. Our leader, our manager, asked us to dress in black. And more than that, because I started dressing in blacks when I was 15, I liked the meaning that she gave it. We dressed in black, not to distract people from whatever we were wearing. It was what we said that was more important. We were guides at the museum, and we would explain all the masterpieces that were around us. And that way I would fade out, if you want to say that, into the background. And it's not what I wore, but it was what I said that mattered most. And since I was 15 to now, I've been wearing black 20 plus years. Probably just already gave away my age. In advertising, color is very important. And back in the 80s, if you watched cartoons in the 80s, you might remember a cartoon named Rainbow Bright. If you don't remember Rainbow Bright was this little girl that had something called star sprinkles. The star sprinkles were made in a mine. What I loved about that cartoon is that she grabbed a specific color of star sprinkles and put them over something that was dull, and it regained life. It gave power to the plants, and it made the sea more vibrant. And just like that, color has an influence on everything we do in our day-to-day activities. Toastmasters uses 4 colors. 3 are the 3 official colors. The 4th one is an accent or a highlight. True maroon. You say, what color is maroon? That's interesting, especially because some people only identify 8 colors of the rainbow. Maroon is a relative of burgundy and a relative of red and purple. You could consider it like a royal red or blood red. But it's not the color itself, it's what it means. Maroon is a color that is gentle, that is ambitious, it is inspiring, it is confident, accepting, and it shows strength. And when you print something or when you wear something in burgundy, it's the confidence that flows inside of you. When you look at the Toastmasters business cards or the presentations in burgundy, you know they mean business. Let's go with blue. Blue, what can I tell you about blue? Blue has been one of my favorite colors for ages, but blue is also a color that defines trust. You identify that person or that organization as trustworthy. Look at the banks. What color do banks use? They're between burgundy and blue. Your money is safe with me. This is the safest place you're going to be. We are going to keep your most valuable asset and make it grow, or keep it safe, whatever you prefer. Blue is business oriented. Blue is dependable. Blue is empathic. And blue is reassuring. And some of you wrote in the chat when we were talking about what is your favorite color? You said that blue was soothing, that it relaxed you because it reminded you of the sea. Now, for many years, Toastmasters used burgundy as district color. It was official. Everything that was district related was in burgundy. Our business cards, our badges, and everything at the club level was in blue. But the most wonderful thing happened last year. Anyone could use whichever color they prefer, as long as they stay within these tones. So if you are a club president or vice president of public relations and you want your club to stand out, want to try burgundy? This is the message you're sending. Just be aware of what image you're about to build. Now, gray is a very nice color to complement things. Gray is stability, reliability, integrity, and if you combine it with the burgundy or the blue, it reduces the power. It's not going to impose. It has that bit of flexibility to go there. And I want you to think back of the brand new image that Toastmasters has created in marketing. Everything is blue and burgundy. But when you see gray, it's relaxing because that's the effect you want to build. Now, yellow. Oh, yellow, my friend, yellow. Yellow is a happy color. Yellow makes you smile, and it's positive, and it's creative, and it's energetic. So if you want to present an exciting table topics section in your club and you're making an ad for that, what color do you think you should go by? Yellow. There is no other color that would help you demonstrate that excitement visually than yellow. These are our 4 colors. This is what they mean. Now, I've seen all over the place. Oh my gosh, I've seen orange. I've seen purple. I have seen green. And I see people moving their heads like, please, Lord, no. But what we want as an organization, as District 55, as Toastmasters, we want them to be aligned. You see, what makes your club special is not that you use a color that is outside the brand. It goes beyond that. It goes beyond a simple image. Now, to be consistent with our colors, we have our fonts. We have 2 fonts that are the official, but fortunately, if they're not available to you, Toastmasters also provided options of other fonts that you can use in their place. One is Gotham, and the second is MyRed Pro. The third font, which is the font that you can use if you don't have access to these 2, and I hope, if I'm lucky, fingers crossed, next week I will be uploading the fonts to our folder where you can download it from there and install them on your computers. I'm just working on putting all of the pieces together to make sure it works. Now, Gotham and MyRed Pro belong to the same family. Have you noticed, if you use Times New Roman, and if you're familiar with that font, that the letters have like little feet? The letter T and the letter S and the letter I. Well, that's a Sans-Serif font. We're going to use, and we use in Toastmasters, Sans-Serif, which means without feet. But there is a meaning to that as well. Why does Toastmasters use Sans-Serif fonts? Easy. They're modern. It's clean. It's universal. In fact, if your computer doesn't have Gotham, MyRed Pro, or Montserrat, you can use Arial, which is the simplest font in the world, and most computers, or if I dare say all, have it. Because we want to keep it nice and clean. We use it on logos, we use it on titles, and we use it on small text. Let me just double check the chat. Okay, everything's good on chat.
I have a question, Violetta. This is Darlene.
Sure. Yes.
I just wanted to clarify, which are the official ones? I mean, you said you can use these if you can't, but which ones are the official ones?
These 2 are the official ones, Gotham and MyRed Pro.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm hoping to put everything together because I will have a folder for our clubs to download the advertising material. And one of the most important things to download are the fonts in case your computers don't have it already. Everything is in the brand manual. And of course, at the end, when you get these slides, you'll get the link also to the brand manual. Now, in photography, oh my gosh, you don't have to spend a fortune or think about how hard is it going to be to find a proper picture for my images in Toastmasters. Our good friend Google, if on your search, you add 2 special keywords, which is high res, short for high resolution, they can get you the most amazing images. Or the other one would be vector. Not Victor, vector. That helps you for icons. But if you're going to use photography, and you don't want to use the 3 or the 5 galleries that Toastmasters offers you, then look for this. Look for meetings, look for presentations, look for networking venues, look for training venues. In fact, people with computers or speech contests. I like using lecterns, microphones. In fact, we recently launched something related to the proxies, which are the votes the district takes to the business meeting, and we used a ballot box. Stay away from images that do not connect with Toastmasters. Landscapes, animals, children, food. The toaster. I'm going to mention it openly. Stay away from the toaster. Medicine and architecture. Maybe for your newsletter, a cartoon or an illustration might be appropriate to make the point across. But when you're promoting your club on your website or on Facebook or anywhere on social media, try to stay away from cartoons, from illustrations, or from clip art. Something popped in the chat. Oh, absolutely. For April Fools, and I'm pretty sure that we'll use it at the club level, like between us, an internal joke. But I can't imagine you us promoting our clubs with a toaster. And we might catch a curious cat or two, but it's not the right message that we want to share. I found this while I was creating the material. A brand is a service, product, company, or person with a soul that is attractive and smart. More than thinking about Toastmasters in general, I want you to think about your clubs. Our clubs are all fun. But what is the essence of your club? How do you want to come across? Do you want to be taken seriously? Do you want to attract people? Maybe the colors are even pushing them away. Maybe the way you write pushes them away. And you say, well, that's just my writing style. Well, I understand, but that is your style. The style you need for the organization speaks differently. And it speaks with kindness and with assertiveness and positivity. And believe me, we have about 5 or 6 sets of eyes that go over everything we write. And when we're not feeling, and when I say we, I dare speak for our district director, when we're not confident enough, we're like, you know what? Why don't you double check it? Just want to make sure it's the right message. Or especially me, when I'm really upset, I'd rather not write. Double think, get my copywriter, who also has served for so many years as the voice of conscience. And then we go there. Because beyond answering as Violetta Rios, as a district leader, as a club leader, I answer on behalf of my club. I answer on behalf of my district. And that is not the way I want the world to see them. I would never want to see people from the outside to believe that my club is an angry club. So this is my open invitation to you. A brand is not just following colors and using the right font. It's also speaking the right language. It's expressing yourself in the way the organization we represent would like to be seen across the world. We speak 2 languages. And no, I'm not talking about English or Spanish or any other language that you might speak. I'm speaking that we speak in the language of leadership. And we also speak to our members. And when we understand and are able to balance both out, they find a happy medium where we do make our club one of the best clubs to be at, to learn, to grow, and thrive. So what's next? We will meet again for session 2 on marketing basics. Today I talked about color and psychology and thinking about other good things. first thing I want you to do, go visit that brand portal on the Toastmasters website. You go to www.toastmasters.org, resources, brand portal. The brand manual is right there. The brand elements, which are all the logos, the taglines and everything, are right there as well. And we will soon be opening registration for session 2, which is marketing basics. And yes, we will talk about marketing from theory, like people from Philip Coulter, not just marketing on these are the ads that you can use. No, no, no. We will go deep into what marketing is. And now I have a question. We have 13 minutes left. I shall open the room for discussion. My question is, has marketing been made a bit easier and friendlier after tonight's session? Or did I confuse you for a couple of minutes?
Yes, and I learned a lot. Thank you, Violetta.
I do recognize that voice. That is my lovely Betty. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here. You're amazing.
I
I
have
would
a
say for
question.
me, it was a good refresher because I was in communications in college. So it was a good kind of refresher on the basic principles of communications and advertising and marketing, all those fun stuff.
It is a lot of fun. When I was in college, well, before I started college, it was really hard for my dad to accept what I wanted to study, because here in Mexico, it's communication with a minor in advertising. And when I told him I wanted to study communication, he thought I wanted to be on TV. You can imagine his reaction, poor man. But when he started understanding the psychology behind it and the way an image can persuade people, he finally understood the magic behind it. So there is a lot more to marketing than just being on TV, as my dad would think. But thank you for being here, and I hope it was useful. I thought I heard someone say I had a question.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Can a club have a logo for themselves?
Can a club have a logo for themselves? That's a very good question, and I will give you the organizational answer. The answer is no. However, where are you going to use this logo?
On the club website, on promoting the club on social media. Basically, those two things that I can think of right away.
Okay. I wouldn't encourage it because it's like a franchise. And I think that's the best way to describe Toastmasters. You have a franchise and you want to promote your franchise, even though you want to personalize it a bit. And that's where I said maybe, because you can have your logo and you can have it hidden somewhere, but it can't be your main attraction or your main image. I've seen some clubs, including areas, even some districts that have a smaller logo or that do something in tune with to set their club apart. But it's always hidden as a watermark or something quite smaller at the bottom. Some even have t-shirts with that logo, but you don't see Toastmasters mentioned. And we go back to the beginning principle. We are promoting our Toastmasters Club.
Yeah, following in suit with that. So if it doesn't indicate that it's Toastmasters, like if you're not using the Toastmasters name or Toastmasters logo, but you're using the club logo, would that be something that would be permitted?
Depends where you're using it. And that's where the word depends.
Okay.
Ideally, I would not encourage it.
Okay, can I, because I can pull it up. Can I show you and see what?
Sure.
Okay, hold
Are you able to share the screen?
on. I'm not sure. There you go.
Give it a try.
Yeah. So we used POPs as a short name for Pathway of Professional Speakers, and
Okay.
this is an example of some of the advertisements or posters that we've created. So is that a yay or an A?
I'm missing my Toastmasters logo.
The POPs.
I like it.
That's the club logo. Is the POPs name with the microphone for the.
I need my Toastmasters logo. I need my world there that says Toastmasters.
Okay.
And that second ad is actually brand compliant, except you're.
It's they're both of them are.
This
they're
one doesn't have the color. Well, it's black, but it doesn't. Is that the right gray?
And I think it looks like the right gray. I can't tell me. It could be, there could be a difference with the screen. That's the way gray works. But they are brand compliant.
So if using these POPs names, that would be compliant?
You still need their Toastmasters logo.
And if we include the Toastmasters logo?
Yep.
Okay. Right.
That looks really neat.
Violetta, did you provide the email for branding?
Oh, let me ask. Yeah, we're right here.
Is there an email or some place where you could go to get approval for that type of brand?
Absolutely. The branding team. I've just typed in their email in the chat. brand@toastmasters.org. I don't know how their workload is right now because of the transition of the year, but they do get back to you. And if they will be really honest with you, they'll say yay or nay. And if they say yay, but they will send you your recommendations on what to move and what to tweak.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Last year, how long did it take them, Kathy, when we were working on the t-shirt? About two, 3 weeks, right?
Like that, maybe 2 days at the most.
But I think that was like a bit further in the year, not like July. I think that was like around August-ish after convention.
And for the conference, they will tell you there's more leeway when you're doing your conference poster or conference flyer. I got away with using little icons and that kind of stuff. And the coloring, I used more yellow than you would normally use, and they were okay with it.
The branding team is amazing because they will tell you up front, yes or no, and they will make recommendations. They take care of the brand, and us as, there's another PRM in here, us as public relations managers, those that are vice presidents of public relations, we are the guardians of the brand. We take care of the brand and make sure everything should be brand compliant.
And that's why I was asking those questions. Because we want to make sure that we are within the defined parameters of Toastmasters when we do that. So you can have a Toastmaster logo followed by a smaller club logo on the same flyer.
It would be very, very, and this is why I have trouble with it. And I don't want to say a full no, because our corporate clubs, they have the Toastmasters logo on one side and the company logo on another. But if we come down to the final decision where we say you can only have one logo on that flyer or that image or that agenda, the logo you should have is the Toastmasters logo.
Well, that's understandable. But my question is, can the club logo be used in conjunction with Toastmasters logo as long as it's color compliant and brand compliant?
Be very careful with it. That's all. That's the only recommendation I would make. Be very cautious, and you might get observations. I'm sorry, Kathy, I didn't hear you.
Get it approved. That's the easiest way.
That's the easiest way around it.
Okay.
Tell the branding team that this is my suggestion for an agenda.
Okay. We have our executive club council meeting next week, so we'll figure it out.
Perfect. The email is already in the chat and it's brand
I
at
got it.
toastmasters.org.
I got it. Thank you.
My pleasure. We are down to the final 4 minutes. I think it's time to go unless someone else has something to share.
This is not really related to brands, but I wanted to let people know, in case you're interested in trying to get her, we had our district champion come and give her speech. She wanted places to practice her speech today at my club. And it was really great because we have a lot of new members, and they were amazed because those of you who have seen Lisa give her speech, you know, she does a great job of using the box, the Zoom box, and they said, I didn't know you could do that. It was cool to watch new Toastmasters see a champion for the first time.
I bet that's an experience, and it's good rehearsal for Lisa as she gets ready.
Natalia had a comment or question, Violetta.
Oh, where?
Right below you on my screen. Natalia?
Yes, thank you for this presentation. It complemented what I knew about the manual. Because I have been always studying, even I have never been the PR of my club. I have been working with them as one of the officers. And I have a question. Can we use the italic version of the fonts? Because on a workshop I went some months ago, they shared all the fonts with us and they have the italic version.
According to the brand manual, we only use the ultra, the bold, the medium, and the light. We do not use the italic.
Okay. And for the photographs, when it's very normal to see the meetings with different themes, we can use the, like they say that don't use architecture, but if the theme it's about architecture, it will be permitted.
It shouldn't be there, but I know why it's there. Because you are highlighting the theme of your meeting. So I can have an idea that if you have a template for that, that image is going to be changing week after week to highlight your topic. So just make sure that everything around it is compliant. Personally, I am not a fan of themed meetings, but that's just me. But I know some clubs do that to keep their sessions lively. So just be very careful with the quality of the images that you're using and also the themes that you're proposing. If there is nothing else and architecture is absolutely the only topic that you can use, fine.
Perfect. And one last, this is some background I made for my club. We are going to celebrate our 50th anniversary. I will change the italic, but this will be permitted. Well, I just will change.
It's brand compliant. Just get that italic fixed.
Yes.
But it's brand compliant. I like it. It's very nice. Congratulations on that 50th anniversary. It sounds easy, but it's not.
We are going to have a big celebration in October.
Good. It's very well deserved. 50 years are not easy. Well, without further ado, we consider this meeting closed, but I will be seeing you hopefully session 2, fingers crossed. We will be rolling out the recording, the PowerPoint, or the slide deck, or however you prefer to call it. But if in the meantime you need anything, you can always find me at this email address. That is my Facebook email, that is my LinkedIn email, and that is my Instagram email. So I can answer any question or help you if you need. Have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, Violetta.
Thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Kathy, you're going to stay for a minute?